The Baltimore Orioles Boston Red Sox series sponsorship presented by Chevrolet. Welcome to Fenway Park. It's turned out to be a nice night. It's game one of a four-game series between the Orioles and the Red Sox. Welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo, as always, joined by Jerry Remy. Welcome to Red Sox baseball. Well, the Red Sox starting rotation has been a little bit inconsistent, but a guy who was outstanding his first time out is on the mound tonight in Joe Kelly.
Well, the Red Sox were a little concerned in spring training with the bicep tenderness that he had, and a little bit surprised that he made the start last time out against the New York Yankees, but he made a great start against the Yankees down in New York. And when we look at Kelly's numbers in that series, I mean, very, very impressive. 7 innings in the game, only 1 run scored, 1 earned run, 1 hit, 2 walks, and 8 strikeouts. And getting strikeouts on all of his pitches, his curveball, his two-seam fastball right there, which was very, very impressive against lefties, to slide it down. And so he had his whole arsenal working for him last time out. And, you know, Kelly's the kind of guy that is young, has never pitched 200 innings in the big leagues, and they're hoping that this year that he'll be able to do that. John Farrell was speaking about that before the game. They'd love to get about 200 innings out of Joe Kelly this season. Red Sox would love to get another great start out of him tonight.
Ubaldo Jimenez on the mound tonight for the Orioles comes in at 1-0. It's the Red Sox and Orioles for the first time of 19 meetings this year. We're back with more right after this. Today, for great offers on our most exciting lineup ever, shop ChooseNissan.com. Dunkin' Donuts, America runs on Dunkin'. Planet Fitness, burn calories, not cash. Toyota's website for deals via Toyota.com. Paul Blart Mall Cop 2 in theaters today. Your local Subaru dealers. Digital Federal Credit Union, see what DCU can save you. And by Southwest Airlines, book your low fare now at Southwest.com. Turned out to be a very nice night here at Fenway Park. It's game one of a 4-game series between the Orioles and the Red Sox. Welcome back inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo. Well, tonight, Joe Kelly is on the mound for the Red Sox. A very good start for him last time out. The Red Sox are hoping for more and more consistency in their starting rotation right now. And Gary Streisky, this starting staff for the Red Sox, somewhat similar to what the Orioles went through last year.
Sort of, kind of, a little bit, in the sense that they don't have that quote-unquote ace, that quote-unquote #1 guy that they're going to roll out there when they need that must-win situation. But 96 wins proved last season the Orioles, they can do it with that blueprint, rolling out those guys who are making the $8, $9, $10 million. Talking to John Farrell, asking him, you know, do you see any similarities in what the Baltimore Orioles are doing with what you did with your rotation? He said, listen, they have a handful of guys have double-digit wins. So, yes, in the sense that us not having an ace or a starter, that's this ongoing storyline we're going to be dealing with all season. But we're going to deal with it. The Orioles obviously had success with it. Of course, the Red Sox finished 25 games beneath the Orioles last season, but they have that sort of blueprint going forward. And of note, the Orioles starters had 4 guys win double-digit games last season. The only guy that didn't, Ubaldo Jimenez, who's on the mound tonight and is winless here at Fenway.
All right, Gary, yeah, some tough numbers for him against the Red Sox overall. This year he is 1-0, getting ready for his second start. We're back with the first pitch for Fenway right after this. Not now. Blue skies above as we get started. The weather is brought to you by Benjamin Moore. Temperature 64 degrees to get it started. The breeze out to right field at 9 miles per hour. And the forecast partly cloudy for the remainder of the night. Lights are on here already at Fenway Park as the Red Sox welcome the Baltimore Orioles for the first of four, a wraparound weekend series. Both managers out there right now exchanging lineups. There's John Farrell, Buck Showalter, exchanging pleasantries as well as this series as they go over the ground rules right now. Times all over the place this weekend. Tomorrow at 4, Sunday at 1:30, Monday at 11 a.m. Look at the standings as we head into this series. Orioles are a game back of the Red Sox, one less win than the Red Sox on the year for the O's as they come into this series. Now the Red Sox looking for some consistency from their starter as Joe Kelly takes the mound tonight, and the Red Sox take the field at Fenway. As they do, let's take a look at the Orioles starting lineup. It is brought to you by your New England Chevy dealers. Alejandro Diaz leading it off in left field for the O's, the former Chicago White Sox outfielder. Steve Pearce at first base, bats second with Travis Snyder, formerly of the Toronto Blue Jays, in right. Adam Jones, the All-Star, in center field in the cleanup spot. Chris Davis, a power-hitting DH, with Manny Machado off to a very slow start at third base. Caleb Joseph does the catching. He bats seventh with Everett Cabrera at shortstop eighth, and Jonathan Scope at second base, bats ninth for the Orioles. Tonight, Red Sox starting pitcher is presented by your local New England Audi dealers. Experience the all-new Audi A3 today. And last year in two venues between St. Louis and Boston for Joe Kelly. 17 starts, 6-4 with a 4.20 earned run average combined in the two venues and a 244 opponent batting average.
The Red Sox defense is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. They are 10th in the American League with 8 errors in 9 games. Pablo Sandoval will be at third base. Xander Bogaerts the shortstop. Dustin Pedroia at second. Mike Napoli the first baseman. Left to right, Hanley Ramirez, Mookie Betts, and Shane Victorino, and Ryan Hannigan doing the catching for Joe Kelly.
Umpiring crew tonight, it is Jordan Baker in behind the plate calling the balls and strikes. The crew chief Jerry Meals at first base, Paul Emmel at second base, and Andy Fletcher is the umpire at third. Red Sox in their alternate red jerseys on this Friday night. And And they welcome the Orioles for the first time this year. First time of 19 matchups between the two clubs. The Orioles won the season series a year ago, 11-8 in 2014. They were 4-5 at Oriole Park at Camden Yards, but at Fenway Park last year, Baltimore won 7 of the 10 games here at Fenway. And of course, they would go on to win the American League East Division title.
And they made some changes in the offseason. They didn't stand pat. They switched a few players around. Diaza coming over, of course, to the Orioles. Nick Markakis no longer here, but still a very, very good ball club.
Yeah, it seems strange not to see Markakis in an Orioles uniform now, of course, with the Atlanta Braves, and they're still waiting for the return of Matt Wieters. J.J. Hardy has started to rehab, their all-star shortstop. He'll be back soon. Alejandro Diaza standing in to get it started, and the first pitch of the ball game is in there for strike one, and we're underway. 94 on the first pitch of the ball game from Joe Kelly. Diaza joining the Orioles last year at the end of August as he takes strike two.
That's 2 fastballs in about the exact same location. Now with 2 strikes, Sandoval can move back at third base.
Diaza coming over from Chicago for a couple of minor league pitchers. This will skip in for ball one. A great first outing for Joe Kelly. Is look at the numbers for Diaza in the last 8 games. Pop-up foul ground. Sandoval going as far as he can. Won't have a play.
That's a pitch right there that was very, very effective for Joe Kelly in his last outing against the Yankees. It's a 2-seam fastball. He didn't get this one in quite as much as he would like to. He'd like to get it inside the part of the plate, then catch the corner with it. That one kind of stuck over the middle of the plate, but fouled off.
Steve Pearce waiting on deck. And a swing and a foul at the plate by Diaza. Adam Jones, the all-star center fielder. Kelly ahead 1-2. The 6th pitch of the at-bat coming up here for Diaza. And it's too high. 2-2.
That's by design. Hannigan wanted the fastball. He wanted it up high. See if Diaza would chase it. That time he did not.
And again behind the plate tonight for Joe Kelly.
It's like back to the slider.
And another foul ball. Red Sox now beginning a stretch in which they have 7 consecutive series and 22 consecutive games against American League East opponents. That will end on May 11th when the Red Sox visit Oakland. On the ground towards third. Sandoval to the backhand. Good pick. Good throw. 1 down.
A good pitch there by Kelly. He goes to the changeup down and away. So we've seen his fastball, we've seen his slider, now we see the changeup, and he gets that weak ground ball toward third base. Good strong throwing on by Sandoval across the diamond. Throws a strike to Napoli.
One down for Steve Pearce. A tough start to the year, hitting at 161 coming in. 2 homers and 3 runs batted in. And Pearce will take strike one, the 98-mile-an-hour fastball. They're shifting as Pedroia moves to the left side of the infield, and it's stacked up for him to pull.
Any kind of ground ball to the left side, they got to wait on Napoli because Napoli's about halfway between first and second. So they got to wait for him to get back to the bag.
Pearce 5 for 31 to begin the year. Break down to 161 the average. A miss for ball 2. popped up, sending Pedroia to shallow center. Mookie Betts coming in, and Betts calls off Pedroia. 2 down. Membership has its privileges. Learn how you can join the most exclusive sports membership in Boston as a Red Sox season ticket holder. Call 617-226-6888. Email new season tickets at redsox.com or visit redsox.com/season tickets today for more information. 2 down here in the first inning, and yes, you're on Nesson. Travis Snyder, the batter, with 2 down. Snyder, the former Toronto Blue Jay, right fielder now for the O's. It does seem strange not to have Nick Markakis out there. And it is now Snyder who shares the role out there, off to a good start, hitting at .333. To center. Betts going back. He'll get there, and that will be that. In the top of the first inning, O's go 1-2-3. Red Sox coming up. As the Red Sox will have to deal with Ubaldo Jimenez tonight. The Orioles starting pitcher is presented by your New England Nissan dealers. 25 games, 22 starts a year ago, going 6-9 with a 4.81 earned run average. Opponents hitting at .241 against Jimenez last year, in the midst of a 4-year deal with the Baltimore Orioles. As Mookie Betts takes a pitch inside. Jimenez won his first start of the year, and that was against the Toronto Blue Jays. 7 innings, just 1 hit, no runs. And he threw 96 pitches in that 7-inning effort.
He has not had good luck against Red Sox teams in the past. As we look at Mookie Betts' numbers, 225, 2-8. Against Red Sox teams 1-3 and 8 career starts with an ERA of 9.37.
Here are the tough numbers for Jimenez, to say the least, in his career against Boston. This is on the ground, ranging his scope from the outfield grass. The throw almost pulled Pierce off the bag, but he comes down on it in time for the first out. Now, tonight's Red Sox starting lineup is brought to you by your Eastern Hyundai dealers. Mookie Betts leading it off in center field with Dustin Pedroia at second base. David Ortiz, the DH, with Hanley Ramirez in left. Pablo Sandoval at third base with Mike Napoli at first. Shane Victorino in right. Xander Bogaerts at shortstop, and Ryan Hannigan doing the catching tonight. Here is Pedroia with one out. .300 average with 3 homers and 6 runs batted in. A good series against the Washington Nationals, in which Pedroia went 6 for 11. And a double home run, couple of RBIs. It's a breaking ball that misses outside. 2-1.
The Red Sox will see the fastball up around 90 miles an hour. The curveball, a changeup, and a split-fingered fastball.
Downstairs for ball 3. 3-1. David Ortiz waiting on deck. In there for a strike right down the middle that time from Jimenez. And 7 spring training starts and a 4.44 earned run average during the spring. And there is strike 3. Pedroia gets the bad news. Thought he had ball 4. And says some stuff to Jordan Baker on the way by. He is out number 2 for a strikeout for Jimenez.
That's pretty nasty, though. When you take a look at this pitch, it's going to be at the bottom of the strike zone, right about knee high, a fastball. And a pretty good pitch there by Jimenez. Pedroia thought the ball was away, maybe too low, but I think when Dustin looks at that one on replay, he'll realize it was a good pitch.
So 2 down, and it brings up David Ortiz. 6 for 32 to begin the year for Big Papi at 188. Orioles into the shift on Big Papi on the right side. Jonathan Scope well out into right field. David with 2 homers and 3 runs batted in. Went 3 for 9 in the series against the Nationals. And Ramirez waiting on deck here with 2 down in the bottom of the first inning. Ortiz hits a fly ball to shallow center. Incoming is Adam Jones, calls out Machado and Diaza and makes the catch. Red Sox down in order in the first, done with 1 without a score from Fenway. Top 2 back at Fenway Park as Joe Kelly returns to the mound. A 1-2-3 first inning for both starters. It's Adam Jones, Chris Davis, and Manny Machado expected to bat here in the second inning. And a swing and a miss on an elevated fastball at 97 miles an hour.
Adam Jones off to a great start, 406 with the 4 home runs so far on the season, chasing a high fastball that time from Kelly.
Comes in riding a 6-game hitting streak. Here are the particulars of that 6-game hitting streak, 12 for his last 21. Lifts it foul off to the right, out of play. Ace Ticket, the official Red Sox ticket partner, has the best seats at the lowest prices to all the games at Fenway. All the 200% guarantee. Right now, Ace Ticket has special savings on all Red Sox games, including the Yankees. Visit Ace Ticket or call 1-800-MY-SEATS. Nice grab. Use what you got. The cap will work. Trying to get him to chase that high fastball again. Does not this time. 2-2.
Everybody's getting a look at it. Just passing it around.
Strike 3 call. Jones knew it. Takes with him the first strikeout of the night for Joe Kelly.
Kelly again buzzing that fastball at 96 to the outside corner. Picks up his first strikeout. He had 8 last time out against the Yankees. Beautiful location there by Joe Kelly.
1 down, 4 in a row retired by Kelly, and it brings up Chris Davis. 226 with a home run, 5 runs batted in. Shift on against Davis per usual, stacked up on the right side. Xander Bogaerts coming to the right side as determined by John Farrell. Davis, who had been suspended 25 games by Major League Baseball in September of last year, testing positive for an amphetamine, reinstated from the restricted list on April the 7th. Fouled straight back, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. Want to be on Dining Playbook with Billy Costa and Jenny Johnson? Want to hear what your favorite dish at your favorite restaurant is? All you have to do is send a quick video or photo of your to die for dish and share at Dining Playbook on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Just hashtag TopNosh. Line foul down beyond the photographer's well. Still 1-2.
Staying away from the strikeout that time with kind of a half swing. Davis so far this year, no walks, 15 strikeouts.
And skips in, gets a piece of Hannigan, and evens the count at 2-2. Opposite field with power. Back goes Hanley Ramirez, and he's going to play it off the bottom of the wall. It's going to play him up over him as he tumbles. Betts will run it down, and Davis runs to second with a 1-out double. And learning the wall continues for Hanley Ramirez in left.
Well, Hanley getting tied in close to the wall, then tried to back up, and as he's backing up, loses his balance. It's probably going to be 2 bases anyway, That ball took a high bounce off the wall after it hit the ground and up over Ramirez's head. There's the bounce. It hits the warning track and then back over his head, and down goes Hanley.
So a one-out double for Davis, first base runner of the game for either side. And here's Manny Machado. 5 for 31 out of the game for Machado. Slowly out of the gate. At 161 and a fastball running in on him for ball one. A single in the last series against Toronto after an 0 for 15 streak. And a slow roller that Kelly's got to feel. Bare hands, little slip, but fires to first in plenty of time. Lost his footing. His right foot kind of slipped out a little bit. And Joe Kelly able to get Machado as Davis takes third base.
Yeah, love the composure here by Joe Kelly. No panic. You know, he charges this ball, does slip, as you can see, that right foot, but still gathers himself and gets up and make a good, accurate throw to first base. Didn't throw the ball as he was slipping. He got himself back together to make a good throw at first base, and they get the out.
Two down for Caleb Joseph. With Davis 90 feet away. Joseph 9 for 24 so far in the season. 375 average. The homers, 2 runs batted in as the Orioles wait for the return of Matt Wieters. Of course, had Tommy John surgery. And not ready to begin the year. Two and 0. Kelly began the night by retiring the first 4 Orioles he faced in the game. The double by Davis off the base of the wall. Then Manny Machado retired 1-3. Davis taking third with 2 down. That's a strike, picking up the corner, and it's 2-1.
And so far, the outside part of that plate, just outside, has been very generous for Joe Kelly.
Seven for 11 in the series against New York. Too far outside that time. Caleb Joseph now. Everett Cabrera waiting on deck. With 2 outs here in the second inning. Ball 4, and down to first base goes Joseph. So the first walk given up by Kelly. And it's first and third now, 2 down. Ice cream, you scream, we all scream for Fenway's favorite ice cream from Hood, the official dairy of the Boston Red Sox. Bring your favorites home today. Two down, first and third. Everett Cabrera, 7 for 26 on the year. Shortstop filling in for J.J. Hardy, still out for the Orioles. And Cabrera will take it downstairs for ball 1. 20th pitch of the inning for Joe Kelly.
I think J.J. Hardy right now on a rehab assignment, and as soon as he's ready, he'll be back in that lineup at shortstop for the Orioles.
J.J. Hardy with a left shoulder strain that he got on the 27th of March, that last week of spring training. That's where he injured himself. He hoped to get out of spring training if Buck Showalter healthy, and the Orioles did not. Wieters still waiting to come back from a Tommy John surgery. David Lowe, Jimmy Paredes, more back strain. 1-1. A little bit low. 2-1. Buck Showalter, of course, who won his 3rd Manager of the Year award. 94, 2004, and last year, 2014. It's already his 6th season as the Orioles manager and has done a fantastic job with Baltimore. Strike call. They're generous on those corners so far. 2-2.
Yeah, both inside, outside. Two-seam fastball led to the outside part of the plate, and the call going in Kelly's direction.
Davis at third, Joseph at first. And a swing and a miss. Kelly gets a strikeout when he needed it. Second strikeout for Kelly. The Orioles strand a pair, scoreless from Fenway.
When you come to the park and Hanley Ramirez is in the lineup, he will provide you plenty of entertainment, whether that be defensively, which we just saw in the last half inning, or offensively, which he's most accustomed to even before the game. How about batting practice? The Globe's Alex Spear was the first to pick this one up during batting practice. He lined a ball 379 feet dead left center field, and you can see the divot. That is a pad. He cracked a hole in the pad. I was talking to Juan Nieves, Arnie Baylor, and they're saying, listen, this guy hits the ball harder than I've ever seen anybody hit. I asked Hanley, hey, how do you feel about putting a crack in the wall? Sure, there's plenty of divots on the monster. That's the lone hole in the padded wall. And he was being humble. He said, nah, that wasn't me. That was Big Papi. But video evidence shows it was Hanley.
I don't think I've ever seen that before in the wall here at Fenway Park. That's impressive.
That's in center field, right?
Yes. And then leading it off here and taking the strike.
Hanley also had a little problem with his game jersey.
Yes, he did.
He had his wrong jersey on as he was getting ready to start the game while he was running his sprints, and somebody alerted him to that and had to change his top.
On the corner, full count. Now, it was red, which gets a little confusing, but it was the wrong red one.
Yeah, he's got his name on his bag, and that's not the ones they're wearing tonight. The ones they're wearing tonight is just the typical red shirts with no name.
And the mystery continues, guys. He said, listen, that was the jersey hanging up in my locker in the clubhouse. Whether it was strategically placed there or not, I guess we'll never know.
Scope at second throws out Ramirez for the first out here of the second inning. One down, 4 in a row, retired by Jimenez, and it brings up Pablo Sandoval. 11 for 36 so far in the year, 306 Homers, 3 RBIs. In there for strike 1. 11 for 34 in his career against Jimenez at .324. Tries to bunt against him and fouls it off, getting a piece of Caleb Joseph.
Yeah, trying to get that ball down the third baseline because they were in a shift, almost a shift, not complete shift, but they did have the third baseman way back almost on the outfield grass. So there was plenty of room down the third base line to try to drop a bunt. Bad thing there, the pitch was inside, and that's a tough ball to move down to third base.
Sandoval facing Jimenez a great deal, and Jimenez was part of the Colorado Rockies organization in the big leagues with the Rockies from 2006 through 2011 before going to the Cleveland Indians. And then last year Baltimore, first year 6-9 of his 4-year deal with the O's.
That's the longest contract ever signed by an Orioles pitcher.
Pitch outside, and it's 2-2. Look out. Quick on his feet. There's Sandoval jumping back out of the way.
Now, once they got ahead of Pablo, they want to see if he'll chase a bad pitch, and so far he has not done that.
There's ball 4, and Sandoval, first base runner of the night for Boston. A 1-out walk for Pablo Sandoval. Well, the Red Sox Foundation launched the Impact Awards, which provides Red Sox fans in the 5 New England states outside of Massachusetts with the opportunity to vote on their favorite local nonprofits to decide which organizations will be awarded grants totaling $75,000. Voting deadline dates vary by state, so to cast your vote, visit redsox.com/impact. Like Napoli, 129, no homers and no runs batted in. Best year looking back over the career of Jimenez, 19-8 with a 2.88 earned run average in 2010. There's third that year in the Cy Young Award voting.
A little hard to pick up his ball because of that delivery. You can see how he tucks his arm behind his body. Kind of a weird motion that I would imagine would be a little deceptive for hitters to pick up.
His 30th pitch of the night. Napoli carves it foul off to the right out of play.
Take another look at that delivery by Jimenez, and you can see that hand drop come back up, and it's all that time it's hiding behind his back. So you really don't get a good look at the baseball until he comes back up over the shoulder.
Shane Victorino on deck. 1 out here in the second inning. Napoli backs out. Got a couple home runs off Jimenez in his career and 10 at-bats. At times tonight, that has been a strike. Not this time. 2-2. Jordan Baker with the plate tonight for the umpires. Wow, they're going to check on Sandoval at first base. Pablo diving back to the bag. Has 11 stolen bases in his career. On the ground, softly by the mound. Cabrera is going to flip to second. They get one and not able to get the second. kind of surprised they went to second, only because his progress was taking him towards first base, but still able to flip over, and especially with right on him, Sandoval, Scope able to hold the bag.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive play right there by Cabrera, because I had no idea. I didn't think at all he was going to go to second base on that. It almost looked like a gimme, and then you can see Sandoval come out and try to get Scopes to make sure he does not turn over the double play. So watching Sandoval over this first week of the season, he really goes into second base hard. He's tough on that second baseman and shortstop.
Shane Victorino stands in and takes a pitch outside. 3 for 23 to begin the year at 130. Xander Bogaerts waiting on deck. And is being tested here in the second. His 20th pitch of the inning, and that is going to miss. So he walked the batter here in the inning, and now falling behind Victorino 3-0. Fourth 3-ball count for Jimenez. Pierce holding on Napoli at first base. Line down the left field line, foul. Just out ahead of that was Victorino. Plenty on it.
Tonight's Oriole defense is brought to you by DraftKings. They are first in the American League, only 2 errors on the season. Machado, Cabrera, Scope, Pierce in the infield. Piazza, Jones, Snyder in the outfield. And Joseph doing the catching for Jimenez.
2 down, Napoli at first base, and Shane Victorino the full count. So Napoli will get a start as Victorino takes ball 4 and heads down to first. So the second walk of the second inning allowed by Jimenez. Stanley, the official tools of the Boston Red Sox when you demand performance in action on the job site. First and second, 2 down. Xander Bogaerts at .382 to begin the year. No homers and 7 runs batted in. Chance to do some damage here in the second inning. As Jimenez tries to work his way around 2 base on balls in the inning. Chili Davis trying to root his offense on. Take advantage of a couple of walks. Bogaerts fouls it sharply back into the grandstand off to the right.
Well, the back-to-back slide is a little bit late on that fastball from Jimenez. Starts him off with 2 off-speed pitches, then comes back with a fastball and a very late swing by Bogaerts.
Foul down the right field line. For a delicious cup of coffee at the office, try W.B. Mason's coffee service featuring the Carrot Coffee System with Green Mountain Coffee. Nice grab and then take a seat.
Yeah. And get up for a standing ovation.
On the ground softly down the third baseline. Machado will tag the bag at third for the force out. That ends the second inning. Done with 2. No score from the Fens. The season premiere Sunday at noon. D'Angelo Ortiz learns how to field a ground ball in the outfield from Shane Victorino, while his dad, Big Papi, takes the hot seat in Small Talk. And they put the audience to the test in Stump Your Parents. Catch it all at noon on Nessie Clubhouse, presented by Delta Dental. Jonathan Scope leading it off here for the Orioles.
Guys, how pumped are you for season 2 of Clubhouse?
I'm fired up. I know you are.
I can hear it in the voice. You are fired up.
I'm ready to go.
Yeah, pretty jacked up about it, actually. Should be pretty good time.
Now, are you going to have a lot of D'Angelo Ortiz back this season? Is he going to be a regular?
I think he is going to be a regular contributor at this point with Baseball Lab and all sorts of other stuff that I don't even know what we're rolling out this year. We have so much stuff to put in the show. But he will be there. TJ's going to be back. Amber's back. Wally is back.
TJ's a big star.
He really is.
He really is.
He had his own side at.
Does he have his own green room at Nesson?
I think the entire studio is his when he enters.
1-2 pitch popped up. Napoli going as far as he can. There'll be no play. I thought Gary did a great job on that show last year. I really did. Outstanding, Gary. And I don't care about how much fun they make of the clothes you wear during the show. I think you look great.
It's much appreciated.
You got it.
I don't know if Joseph Abboud, has like jeans and a jean line and a T-shirt line, but if he does, I'm available.
Ball and 2 strikes here to Scope. Thought about chasing it. Does not offer, and it evens 2-2. Joe Kelly with 2 strikeouts. He's walked 1, given up a hit. Dealing with 9-1-2 in the Orioles' order here in the top half of the 3rd inning. Down the right field line, and no chance for Victorino. Well, back into the seats. Monday, April 27th is Replica Fenway Park Night at Fenway. All fans in attendance receive a free replica model of Fenway Park presented by W.B. Mason. Visit redsox.com/promotions for more information and to purchase your tickets now. Foul backhand below us. Still 2-2.
Two-seam fastball that time at 97, running back into the hands of Jonathan Scope. Did a pretty good job fouling that pitch off. That was pretty nasty. That's a bat breaker right there.
They yanked that one down and away at 97 miles an hour, and it's a full count now. Second full count for Kelly. Sharply hit, diving at shortstop. Bogarts up quickly. His throw on a hop will get there. Nice stretch by Mike Napoli. Nice play by Bogarts. Threw a one-hopper to first, and Napoli did the best stretch he could, and they get him.
Yeah, very nicely done there by Xander Bogaerts and Mike Napoli. Bogarts actually going into the dive looked like a little bit early, but he's able to catch the ball, gets up and one hops at the first base. I was concerned because when I saw that hop on the grass, it slowed up a little bit, but still got to Napoli in time. Napoli with the big stretch. And Joe Kelly loves that play from Xander Bogaerts.
One down for Alejandro Diaz. As it's second time through the Orioles order now for Joe Kelly. And on the grass at third, Pablo Sandoval. Diaz grounded to Sandoval in the first inning. He was at regular depth at the time.
Not as tight at third base as Sandoval this time, but still in on the grass.
Framed by Hannigan, and it's 0-2. Boston-based daily fantasy company, DraftKings.com, the official daily fantasy partner of your Boston Red Sox. It's giving out $300 million in cash and prizes. Enter promo code NESSON to play for free.
Did you say $300 million?
I said $300 million in cash.
Wow.
Which is inside.
That's a lot of cash. $300 million?
We're checking with the producer because that's a lot.
That's a lot of cash.
That's a lot of money.
They're giving away a lot of cash.
Did he go? Yes, he did. Went around, and Diaz strikes out, becomes a third K for Kelly. But Showalter's not so sure. 2 down.
That changeup that time gets Diaz to the chase. The Red Sox will take that gift. $300,000. What'd you do with $300,000, Don?
$300 million, you mean?
Oh, $300 million. That's what I'm thinking. No.
No, $300 million.
Oh, that's $300,000 to use nothing.
Fouled off down the right field line.
I was thinking $300 million.
Yes.
$300 million. You could do a few things.
The first thing I would worry about is the taxes I would lose right off the top. That'd be the first thing I'd think about.
But 300. Let's say you lose half. You want to have $150 million.
Already down $150 million.
$150 million.
And then you start thinking, what can you buy for $150 million? I mean,
a lot.
But not as much as you could buy for $300 million. You know what I'm saying?
Huh? They're talking to me in my ear, and I can't hear you. Will you guys be quiet? Don's talking to me. Go ahead.
I'm just saying that the $300 million. What are they saying?
What are they saying?
Well, you can get a bigger boat. I could get a bigger sun dolphin. That's for sure. But yeah, no, but it'd be cut in half immediately, right down to 150. That's the first thing I'd think about.
Yeah, you're Mr. Optimistic. I mean, you know.
But anyway, yes, that is the number. $300 million that they're giving away. 1-2 pitch fouled off.
300,000 or 300 million?
300 million. Million. Wow. Yeah. But not to one person. It's a lot of different people.
Wow. See, I wouldn't want to share the lottery if I won it with anybody.
That does not surprise me in the least. I will say this. If you won the lottery, I would never see you again.
That's not true.
That is the last time I'd ever see you.
That's not true.
If I call in the house, you'll disappear completely.
That is absolutely not true.
Really?
I would keep doing this job.
Really? Even if you won $300 million.
$300 million, yep.
1-2 will bounce in.
You don't understand how much I love baseball.
Yes. Well, I know you love baseball, but $300 million
is a lot of money.
Think of other stuff that you could do besides baseball.
And I got a lot of time to do that in the offseason.
That's true. So you can enjoy your offseason.
Yep. I might buy a plane.
That you'd have to have. Two pitch. Pierce will take it. That was very close. Frame there for Hannigan to show Jordan Baker wasn't biting.
Very close here by Joe Kelly. Could have gone either way.
To third, and Sandoval at the high hop. Throw is low, but Napoli digs it out to end the inning. Xander Bogaerts with a nifty play turned in at shortstop. 2.5 done, no score from Fenway. Is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Bottom of the third inning without a score as Ryan Hannigan leads it off and fouls it off down the right field line out of play. Hannigan started the game hitting at 105, 2 for 19 so far for the Red Sox catcher. He'll be followed by Mookie Betts and Dustin Pedroia here in the third inning. And has walked two, but worked his way around it in the second inning. Strike called. Hannigan knew it, and that is strikeout number 2 for Jimenez. One down here in the third inning.
Now, so far early in this game, both pitches very, very sharp. Kelly and Jimenez finding corners down at the bottom of the strike zone. Very, very effective. This is similar to the type of game that Jimenez pitched in his first outing. Same for Kelly.
One down for Mookie Betts. Grounded out to second base in the first inning. Second time through now for Jimenez. See what kind of adjustments this Red Sox lineup can make against the O's starter. Three and 0 now to Mookie Betts. Dustin Pedroia waiting on deck. Red Sox batting in their half of the third inning. And a 4-pitch walk to Betts. That is a third walk given up by Jimenez. Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center, the official hospital of the Boston Red Sox, never forgets that before you're a patient, you're a person. Beth Israel Deaconess, human first. Learn more at bidmc.org/human first.
Well, in a game that runs tough to come by early, let's see if Betts gets aggressive and maybe tries to steal. He's got 3 so far in the season, has not been caught.
Throw over there, and back is Betts, diving back safely. Ball 1 to Pedroia. 6 batters, 3 have walked. Red Sox were unable to take advantage of that scenario in the second inning. Now, one on walk here to Mookie Betts in the third. So the big secondary lead, but was not running as ball 2, or actually strike 1, taken by Pedroia, 1-1. That's always taking a very large lead at first base. Ground ball towards second, could be 2. Scope the second for 1 on the first. A low throw, but dug out by Pierce for the double play that ends the third inning. Scoreless at the end of 3 from Fenway. Bank helps make good things happen. Watch how good things are happening to local people at easternbank.com/goodthingshappen. Back at Fenway Park, a look at the concourse as the Red Sox and Orioles play into the 4th inning. Turned out to be a very nice night here at Fenway Park tonight. Very comfortable conditions.
We have really been lucky on this homestand for early in April to get the type of weather we've had, and it's supposed to be good throughout the weekend, so that's terrific news.
And the Red Sox, of course, are playing 4 games against the Orioles. We'll be here Monday morning as well on Patriots Day, but tomorrow at 4 o'clock, Sunday at 1:30, and then Monday at 11 a.m. The Red Sox head out to Tampa Bay and Baltimore. Outside for ball 2. Travis Snyder lining out to Mookie Betts in center field in the 1st inning. Now sends one foul to the left, and it evens at 2-2. Snyder, who had been in Pittsburgh, traded January of this past offseason to the Orioles from the Pirates. Last year hit .264 in 140 games for the Pirates. Certainly seen a lot of him over the years as a member of the Toronto Blue Jays, which he broke into the big leagues with the Jays. He was back in 2008. He's in Toronto until 2012, parts of 3 years with the Pirates. And now back into the American League East with the O's. Broken bat, liner to left. Ramirez is going to come in and play it on a hop. As Travis Snyder with a leadoff single here in the 4th inning, just the 2nd hit of the night for the Orioles. I'll remind you to vote for the Amica Pitcher of the Week at NESN.com/Amica and enter to win a $100 gift card from NESN to the Yawkey Way team store. Lead runner on for the first time tonight for the Orioles, and it brings up Adam Jones. He struck out looking in the 2nd inning. 3 Ks tonight for Joe Kelly. In there for strike 1. Adam Jones not pleased. Buck Showalter not pleased. Fouled off to the right out of play, and it's now 0-2 to the Orioles center fielder. Well, Sunday catch an all-new Charlie Moore as the Mad Fisherman heads to one of his favorite New England lakes in the hopes of having a great day of catching fish. But something happens with the boat ramp, and that may not allow him to get in the water. Food, fish, and trivia are all mixed into this episode. Catch it all Sunday at 6:30 p.m. Yanks that one away, and Hannigan almost had that one get by him. Good darting play there from Hannigan.
Yeah, Hannigan was set up inside. That was a 97-mile-an-hour fastball just taking off, and Hannigan makes a terrific play there to keep that ball in the webbing of the glove.
Foul back, still 1-2. Big gap out there in left center field. They move Mookie Betts well into right center. And Adam Jones comes into tonight's game at 406 to begin the year. 4 home runs so far in the young season.
Shakes off a couple of pitches, wants to slide it.
And it's quickly into left center field. Touching second inning for third is Snyder. The throw will go in towards second base. And it's first and third with nobody out for the Orioles here in the 4th inning on back-to-back base hits to begin the inning. A 7-game hitting streak for Jones at .565 along the way.
That's a hitting streak right there. 13 for 23.
Well, the Orioles threatening here in the 4th inning. Here's Chris Davis, who had a double in the 2nd. Late on that cut for strike 1. 97 on the fastball from Kelly. Another fastball. Same result, strike 2.
Well, what Kelly wants here and needs here is a strikeout, and certainly got a guy to the plate that has struck out quite a few times already this season. That time he elevated the fastball about ladder high. Let's see if they continue to climb the ladder. Try the fastball up, but that time a little bit outside.
Pitch count rising here for Joe Kelly with nobody out in the 4th inning. This is his 75th pitch. And same spot, fastball again.
And to Davis's credit, he's not chasing those pitches. They're going there by design, but Davis is not chasing those pitches up and away.
Manny Machado waiting on deck. Nobody out here in the 4th. Snyder at 3rd, Jones at 1st. And Davis will take ball 3. So he get down 0-2 and has taken 3 straight pitches, all fastballs, and it's a full count. 5th full count of the night for Joe Kelly. There's Snyder, Jones at 1st, nobody out. Davis hits a ground ball towards 2nd. Pedroia to 2nd for 1. On to 1st for 2. Run scores, but the Red Sox will take that exchange as they get 2 outs. Orioles take a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, they will, especially at this stage of the ball game. Get the 2 outs. Pitch count rising for Kelly. Get the outs. Give up the run. And potentially get out of a big inning right here.
So the double play, first turn to the night for the Red Sox defensively as Snyder scored. Here's Manny Machado, who grounded back to the mound in the 2nd inning. Now he takes strike 1 right at the bottom of the zone. Machado last year with the right knee injury, August 11th of last season, placed on the 15-day DL. Right knee sprain, had surgery in August, late August, and then was transferred to the 60-day DL. Fouls it off to the right, out of play. 1-2. Tune in tonight after the game to NESN Sports Today, presented by People's United Bank. Jameson and Nicky will have the latest on the Celtics as they prepare for their first-round playoff matchup against the Cavs. That's tonight on NESN Sports Today, presented by People's United Bank. See what know-how can do. Just away, and it's 2-2 now to Machado. Ready to go? No, says Jerry Mills, first base umpire. Full count.
Joe Kelly trying the slider. We'll take a look from the side, and no, he did not go.
Line and cut by Xander Bogaerts to end the inning, but the Orioles strike first, take a 1-0 lead. Bank is here to make your banking and your day easier. See how at easternbank.com. Here, your first Eastern Bank. Now back at Fenway Park, where the Orioles have just taken a 1-0 advantage. As David Ortiz leads it off and takes strike one. Let's check in with Gary.
Pretty incredible that collectively the Orioles said goodbye to really their leading home run hitter and RBI guy, Nelson Cruz. And between him and Nick Markakis, 54 home runs, nearly 160 RBIs. Fortunately for the Red Sox, they still have their main producer in both of those categories at the plate right now. But it really speaks to the power hitters, specifically in the American League East. Over the course of the last 11 seasons, 9 hitters have led the American League in home runs. David Ortiz did so in 2006. Manny Ramirez did it in 2004. Of course, Nelson Cruz hit 40 home runs last year for the Orioles. Leads the league right now with 6 home runs for Seattle. I was talking to Ortiz saying, are you kind of glad he's gone? It opens the door for you now at this point to take over that lead. He says, yeah, but I think I have to battle my guy Hanley. David Ortiz with 2 home runs, Hanley with 4 so far this season.
Yeah, Hanley Ramirez now batting behind him in this order for the Red Sox as a one-hopper hit sharply to first base, handled by Steve Pearce.
That was
first out of the inning.
That was a bullet right there, hit by Ortiz. Very good balance at the plate. Hit it right in the button, but nice play by Steve Pearce at first base to backhand it and get Ortiz easily at first.
So 1 down, and Hanley Ramirez, the batter, grounded out to second base in the second inning. Now grounded to third. Machado plays it off to his side and throws out Ramirez, 2 down. Have a son or daughter who want to learn more about baseball or their favorite Red Sox players? Now you can. Check out NessonClubhouse.com. It has videos, games, and a whole lot more. It's fun, free, and easy to use. NessonClubhouse.com. Two down here in the 4th inning, and it brings up Pablo Sandoval. is Sandoval. And he's going to be ejected from the ball game. How about that? So Sandoval is hit with a pitch, and Jimenez, rather than being warned, is immediately ejected by Jordan Baker, the home plate umpire.
You know, let's go back to the last time Sandoval went into second base on a slide.
Yep.
And I wonder if that had something to do with him getting plucked this time up. I mean, there's no question Baker thought that was intentional. That's why he immediately threw him out of the ball game. First, let's take a look at Sandoval getting hit by the pitch. And Baker determined that this was intentional, and it was up close to the head. It was off the shoulder. And that was a very quick ejection, I must say.
And that's what Buck Showalter is arguing here. Now warnings will be handed out after this as well.
Now let's go back to a play at second base, and you can see right there him taking out the leg of Pedro Scope, Jonathan Scope, excuse me, the second baseman. And I wonder if this pitch here was retaliation for that slide at second base. That does happen.
It does happen, especially look at this situation with 2 outs, nobody on, and you are only on top 1-0. So
yeah,
you got to question his motives if that's what he's doing. But Buck Showalter certainly thought this was a mistake to have him ejected. So Jimenez, who was pitching very, very well in this game through 3 2/3 innings, is done. And now the Orioles will be given as long as they need to get somebody into this ball game. As Jordan Baker has ejected him, and Buck Showalter still can't believe it. So we will step aside. The Orioles will have somebody coming in here after the ejection of Ubaldo Jimenez. 1-0 Orioles. Jerry Mills, the crew chief, about this situation with his starting pitcher who had not given up a hit yet tonight, being ejected from this game. It's time for the Geico Red Sox moment, and we're celebrating the 1975 Red Sox, the 40th anniversary of the 1975 Red Sox. Game 10 of 75. The Yankees beat the Red Sox 12-1. Bill Lee took the loss in that game, 1-2. As the Red Sox were beaten up by the Yankees in Game 10 in 1975. So Buck Showalter now getting on the phone. Kevin Gossman has been warming in the pen.
We're just speculating here, but I think it's pretty good speculation that this slide here may have caused the pitch that hit Pablo. Pablo going a little bit. I mean, he had contact with the base, but then there's that retaliation pitch, I believe. And I thought that was a quick ejection. I really did. I mean, I know it was up around the shoulder, but I was a little bit surprised that Jimenez was ejected for it.
Yeah, generally in that situation, you would see warnings handed out normally.
Yeah. You know, if the umpire deems that they are intentionally throwing at the head of a player, then they immediately can be thrown out without a warning or anything like that. But that was off the shoulder, so that caught me a little bit by surprise. But I think the reason for that was because of the slide. I'm going to try to put those two together. And
interesting start to the Red Sox and Orioles 19 times meeting this year.
That'll cause some bad blood. There's no question about that.
Yeah,
that'll
right out
cause
of the
some
gate.
bad blood. And look out around second and short, I can tell you that.
So here we are in the fourth inning of the first game of 19 between these two teams. Well, with Jimenez leaving, we'll check out his pitching line, which is brought to you by your Eastern Lexus dealers. 3 2/3 doesn't give up any hits. No runs so far, although he's responsible now for Sandoval at first base. He walked 3, struck out 2, and obviously hit a batter. 59 pitches, 30 strikes. So this call to the bullpen is brought to you by Kia. And Kevin Gausman into the game. His fourth appearance, 1-0 with an 8.31 earned run average. 4 walks, 4 Ks, and it's sitting at 278 against Gausman. So the Red Sox with 2 outs have Sandoval at first base. Mike Napoli will be coming up once Gausman is ready. It looks like Buck's going to get somebody else up as well, perhaps in the pen. Is back on the phone again.
I remember that happening with me many moons ago, where a pitcher would actually call me in and say, "Hey man, did he try to get you? Was he, I'd say, yeah, he tried to get me." And next time it would be down around the knees they'd get the guy if the situation called for it. Now, it may not be that. I mean, I'm looking at numbers. I'm looking at Sandoval, 324, a couple of career home runs against him.
Right. So you don't know what kind of past history they have either.
Yeah,
you do by the numbers.
You don't know. But if you're looking at just this game there, that slide could have caused it.
Even though he could make contact with the bag in that situation.
Even though he could have made contact with the bag. I'll tell you one thing. I mentioned it last time. Sandoval goes in very hard. We've noticed that just since opening day on every ground ball to the second base. I mean, he makes those second basemen and shortstop think about what they got to do out there. And that's the way you should do it. I mean, if you're coming way off the bag to do it, that's a whole different story. That's a dirty play.
Mike Napoli coming up here. Already the third time this year that Sandoval has been hit with a pitch this year. And this one causes an ejection. Jimenez ejected in the fourth inning, and now Mike Napoli coming up. Napoli reached on a fielder's choice in the second inning. That'll skip in for ball 1. Lengthy wait for Joe Kelly this inning now. And Kelly is up to 84 pitches through the first 4 innings of this contest, and giving up a run in the fourth inning. At the moment it has been nearly 14 minutes since he has seen the mound. Grounder up the middle. Cabrera will flip to second base for the force out that ends the inning. We are through 4 with Baltimore on top 1-0. Jim Rice, Steve Lyons, and more. On January 9th, as they sail the Caribbean on Celebrity's 2016 Red Sox Fan Cruise. Space is limited, so call 1-888-727-4907 or contact your travel agent today. Pablo Sandoval hit with a pitch. 2 outs and the base is empty by Ubaldo Jimenez, who is chased from this game, ejected from this game by home plate umpire Jordan Baker, who did then hand out warnings to both sides after the ejection. Caleb Joseph leading it off here for the O's. And a half-hearted swing, changed his mind in the middle. Was thinking fastball, get the slider instead.
Back-to-back sliders by Kelly to quickly get ahead of him. No balls, 2 strikes.
Fly ball to right, down the line. Over goes Victorino towards the pole. He leaps. Did he grab it? No, and he is injured down that right field line, it appears. Could not get it. That ball is gone, as Victorino could not make the catch, and they're headed out to check on Shane Victorino. Shane appears to be okay, but Caleb Joseph with a home run, apparently just out of the reach of Victorino, runs out of our sight line down the right field line, but that ball is gone.
Yeah, that ball just really slicing toward the foul pole and past the foul pole. Victorino gets to the wall, crashes into it. But when you reach over the wall like that, if a fan interferes, it's okay because you're reaching over the wall. Let's see if a fan does. I don't think so.
No.
I think it just went over the glove for the home run. And Victorino, anytime he bangs into the wall like that, you got to worry about the back situation.
He will run into walls. We have seen that over the years. So Caleb Joseph with his first home run of the year, and Baltimore with a 2-0 advantage. And now John Farrell is headed to talk here to the home plate umpire, Jordan Baker.
Now, it may be to see if there was any fan interference down there, and it didn't look like there was. A fan reaching over.
Is he contending that it was foul, perhaps?
Possibly. They're going to review it. It's not foul.
Not foul, no. Well, the question is the fan interfering from that first shot that we see.
Yeah,
on the other side. Clearly he did not.
I don't think there was at all, no.
Almost looks like it hits him in the leg. Or the thigh area.
Now, it's pretty clear nobody did reach over. So if that's the
only thing Shane was battling was the wall.
Yeah. You can see the white ball. You can see it never lose sight of it. So that means it did go in front of that pole.
So the home run is the indication from the umpires. John Farrell had him check it out. It is indeed a home run. Joe Kelly with a few warm-up tosses in between, and Baltimore has a 2-0 advantage. Joe Kelly giving up 8 home runs last year, 5 of them coming in a Red Sox uniform. 2-0 Baltimore. Everett Cabrera, the batter. And he'll foul it off to the left out of play. Cabrera struck out swinging in the second inning. 3 strikeouts so far tonight for Joe Kelly. In the dirt, and it's a ball and a strike. Shane getting it in the rib cage area there as he hit the wall, and the ball just out of his reach. 90th pitch coming up here for Kelly. And it's a grounder right side. Napoli's going to need help, and over is Kelly for out number 1 of the 5th inning. Follow the Red Sox all season in 2015 with the MLB.com At Bat, the #1 app for live baseball. At Bat is up to the moment at any moment with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcasts, StatCast, and more. Get MLB.com At Bat for your smartphone or tablet. 1 out here in the 5th inning after the home run by Caleb Joseph has given the Orioles a 2-0 advantage. Jonathan Schoop bounced to short his first time up. Now Kelly falling behind 2-0. Wild swing and a miss. Back to the slider, down and away. Don't miss W.B. Mason's extra innings live right after the game, as the pitching line for Joe Kelly is brought to you by A's Ticket. 1 1/3, 4 hits, 2 runs. Walk and 3 Ks. Chops softly towards third. Sandoval on the run. Dug out by Napoli, and he's out as he trips over Napoli in the bag. Jonathan Schoop. Little face plant there at first base. He went down hard.
I couldn't tell if he hit Napoli's foot or the bag, but he just had a face plant as he went by first base. In the meantime, it was a very nice play by Sandoval, charging the ball into the glove, the transfer to throw to first base. Let's see what happens. He stretches for that bag, and I think just lost balance. Hit the front of the bag. Oh, yeah, and then kicked Napoli's foot.
So 2 down here, and it brings up Alejandro Diaz as they check on Schoop. On the knee area. Breaking ball in there for strike 1. Diaz has grounded out to third base and struck out swinging from the top spot in the O's order. A lot more breaking balls lately here from Kelly after a plethora of fastballs last inning.
Does that mean a lot?
A lot of them.
A plethora?
I think he used it correctly in a sentence also. When one pitch will miss. I know this. The pitch count rising for Kelly with 2 outs here in the 5th inning. Schoop trying to walk it off in that Orioles dugout. Pitch 98 is going to miss low. And at the lip of the grass at third is Sandoval, as he has been for Diaz, who hits it twice, fouls it off himself, and is in some pain.
He's got that guard on his right foot, but still, it doesn't matter. You hit that, it still hurts.
Busy trainer right now for the Orioles. He's checking on Schoop, and now he has another injured player in Diaz he's got to deal with. Well, don't miss W.B. Mason extra innings live right after the game. TC and Tim Wakefield will have post-game reaction from the Red Sox clubhouse. Can't go wrong when you buy right at W.B. Mason. So 2 outs. Diaza with a full count. Trying to shake off that foul tip. And he lines one to center. Mookie Betts moves over into left center to make the catch. A leadoff home run by Caleb Joseph has the Orioles now on top 2-0. $50 to the Claudia Fund, the charitable foundation of the Dropkick Murphys, Echo Store, and the Claudia Fund, working together to raise funds for child causes, veteran support, and to help those battling addiction. Learn more. Log on to echostore.com. The Orioles adding a single run on the home run by Caleb Joseph in the 5th inning. Put the Orioles on top here, 2-0. Into the bottom of the 5th we go. And about a third of the Red Sox order, Shane Victorino just ran into the right field wall. Leading it off here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Bogarts, then Hannigan to face Kevin Gausman back on the mound here for the Orioles. There's a pop-up. It'll take Schoop into short right. And he'll make the catch in front of Travis Snyder for the first out here at the bottom of the 5th inning. Don't miss Red Sox first pitch, presented by Joseph Abood. Available at Men's Warehouse tomorrow. 3 p.m. the start time tomorrow for Red Sox first pitch. TC Tim Wakefield will preview Clay Buchholz's start in Game 2 of the 4-game series against the Orioles. 1 out in the 5th. And Xander Bogaerts grounded into a fielder's choice in the 2nd inning.
Up to a ton of tweets today about 8 years ago. Today was the day of the famous pizza throw here at Fenway Park.
I guess it was yesterday on our off day.
Was it yesterday?
Yesterday was the anniversary of Pizzagate.
Still talked about around Red Sox Nation.
On the ground, a fair ball up over the bag. It'll kick off the box seats wall, and Piazza runs it down and quickly gets it to second base. Good thing Bogaerts put on the brakes. He would have been very out at second base.
Yeah, good job there by Piazza. Really hustled in to get that ball off the wall and keep Bogaerts at first base with the single. right over that third base bag. Very close. But Bogaerts picks up the base hit. That ball gets by that wall. Obviously, it's a two-base hit, but the good hustle right there by Diaza holds Bogaerts to the single.
That is the first Red Sox hit of this game, and it comes with one out in the fifth inning. Combined Jimenez and Gausman. There's Ryan Hanigan, who struck out looking in the third inning. Center fielder Adam Jones over towards right center on Hanigan. It's a long look down to Brian Butterfield, third base coach's box. One out and one on. Strike two. Edward Mujica up in the pen for the Red Sox. First action we've seen out there. Mentioned the pitch count getting up there for Kelly's in an even 100 through the first five. Gausman has been in and out of the rotation for the Orioles, working out of the bullpen. And coming into this game after Baldo Jimenez was ejected last inning after hitting Pablo Sandoval. 20 starts last year, was 7-7 was Gausman. As Hanigan protects the plate, fouls it off to the right out of play.
Good job there by Hanigan. That was a pretty nasty pitch on the outside part of the plate, and just reaching out and punching it foul to give himself another chance.
Fouled off to the right out of play. Gausman, a first-round pick in 2012 from Louisiana State University. It is 1-2 to Hanigan. In the air to deep left field. High, deep, and it's gone. A two-run home run by Ryan Hanigan with one swing of the bat ties this game 2-2. First home run in a Red Sox uniform for the Andover, Massachusetts native Ryan Hanigan.
Well, you go back a couple of pitches ago when he fouled that pitch off to give himself another chance. And man, did he get another chance. He got a slider that stayed middle in. There's the breaking ball. Very little break on it. Just kind of spinning toward home plate. And Hanigan loses it with the two-run home run.
Mookie Betts fooled on the pitch. A swing and a miss as indicated by Jerry Meals and a check at first base.
This game is so weird. I mean, he fouled off a tough pitch just to stay alive. I mean, very defensive swing on a ball that would have been called strike three, and ends up with a home run.
So the Orioles lead erased with a two-run home run by their number 9 hitter Ryan Hanigan.
Here's the pitch I was talking about. I mean, he could have been out on this very easily, but somehow fouls it off and then gets the breaking ball, a hit for a home run. Gausman's throwing hard. 98.
Trying to hold up. Did he go? Yes, he did, says Jerry Meals, and they ring him up. So a couple of checks with Meals down there at first, both times saying he offered. And there are 2 outs in the inning. One swing of the bat, tied up 2-2. Pedroia 0 for 2. He has struck out looking and bounced into a 4-6-3 twin killing. A little bit low, 2-0. So the bottom of the order getting the job done for the Red Sox in this inning. A 1-out single by Xander Bogaerts up over the bag at third, and the 2-run home run by Hannigan out of the 9 spot. Strike call makes it 2-1. Waldo Jimenez ejected from this game after 3 2/3 of no-hit pitching. Having no runs, walked 3, struck out 2, and hit a batter. And that batter is the reason he was ejected, hitting Pablo Sandoval. Strike 2 to Pedroia. Consistently, Jordan Baker, home plate umpire, has been calling that low strike. As Big Papi waits on deck. On the ground, but right at Scope at second base. Pedroia is retired. So are the Red Sox in the 5th, but a 2-run home run by Ryan Hannigan has tied the score 2-2. Two to two the score, and a liner off the glove of Pedroia into left field, and reaching is Steve Pearce. Pedroia had the glove on it, clicks off the glove and into left field.
Yeah, line shot looked like Pedroia was going to catch on the backhand right here. Just didn't catch it, missed it. That'll probably go as an error on Dustin Pedroia, playing on the opposite side that he normally plays on.
How big a deal is that to move from one side of the infield to the other?
I hated going over to the other side. I was afraid if I got a ground ball, I wouldn't be able to reach first.
It is an error. Charge to Dustin Pedroia on the line drive that he was perfectly aligned for. second miscue of the year for the Gold Glover from a year ago. 4-time Gold Glove Award winner. Pierce on to begin the inning as Travis Snider gets his third AB of the game. Kelly starting this inning with an even 100 pitches. Up over now. Dealing with the number 3 hitter with Adam Jones on deck. Framed by Hannigan, but it is away. 3-0. Pitch. And that's a strike. Generous. And it is 3-1. Napoli holding on Pierce at first base. Red Sox infield double play depth. Nobody out in the 6th inning. And a fly ball to right field. Over goes Victorino. Got a good jump. Makes the catch for the first out of the inning. So Snider retired, flying out to his counterpart in right field for the first out here of the 6th inning. Stay tuned tonight following W.B. Mason Extra Innings Live for Red Sox Final presented by Uno's. Tom Caron and Tim Wakefield will have highlights and scores from around the majors. And a Wakefield jersey on out there in the monster seats. 1 on, 1 out, and Adam Jones the batter. Jones struck out in the 2nd inning, singled to center field in the 4th inning. Chops out at foul. 1-1. The Orioles with single runs in the 4th and 5th. The Red Sox with 2 runs in the 5th inning to tie it up. Ryan Hannigan's first home run in a Red Sox uniform. First meeting of the year between the Red Sox and the Orioles. Pierce started and stopped as Jones fouls it back to the screen.
Anytime a base runner does that, he gets a middle infielder, whoever's covering second base, to flinch and move toward the bag. And that creates a hole in the infield. That time it was Dustin Pedroia taking a few steps towards second base. Watch Pedroia. See how he breaks and it leaves a big hole between first and second.
Throw over and back to the bag is Pierce. Looking at Pierce at first base, who's gained his lead again. Very high at 95, and Hannigan had to come out of the crouch to reel that in.
The elbow really coming underneath that fastball for Joe Kelly. And that ball rising, and Hannigan has to go up with it to make the catch. Keep Pierce out of scoring position.
Towards the end of the bat, a fly ball to right that Victorino has sized up. Makes the catch for out number 2 of the inning. It's time for a game break brought to you by Jordan's, the furniture store of the Boston Red Sox. Tom? Okay, Tom, thanks very much. That'll be the next venue the Red Sox will be headed to, St. Pete, on the next road trip after this 4-game series against the Orioles, and also include a visit to Camden Yards in Baltimore. 2 outs, runner at first, and Chris Davis takes a pitch outside for ball 1. Kelly trying to get through this 6th inning. Red Sox shifting on the right side. Pierce reached on the error committed by Dustin Pedroia to begin the inning. 2 flyouts to right. Throw over, and Pierce having to dive back again.
Pierce does not have a steal yet on the season.
Elevated and a swing and a miss. 96, still throwing hard.
Rising fastball on time. Up and away from Davis. Davis trying to hook that outside pitch.
Joe Kelly last year's high was 120 pitches. And that came with the Red Sox. And that was also against Baltimore. As he gets strike 2, 1-2. Fouled off to the left, out of play. For every Red Sox game that goes into extra innings where the Sox get a save, CVS Pharmacy will make a donation to Boston Children's Hospital towards a $25,000 commitment once again this season. CVS Pharmacy is the official pharmacy of the Boston Red Sox. Steve Pierce on at first base with 2 outs here in the top of the 6th inning for the O's. Bouncing in and away, and Pierce will take off for second base. Anaheim could not block that, and it gets back to the screen, and it got his bare hand on the way by.
Well, that time Joe Kelly squeezing the changeup and off the hand of Hannigan. Off the fingers. So the Orioles do get their man in scoring position with 2 outs. Hear the wild pitch.
And again, needing a little more time. The home plate umpire Jordan Baker is going to clean off the plate, gives him a few more seconds. Going to get the feeling back in those fingertips. .98 but missing, full count.
Joe Kelly knowing this is his last inning. Pitch count very high now, 117.
His 7th full count. Davis thought about it, but he'll take ball 4 and head down to first base. The second walk given up by Kelly. And John Farrell making his way out there with Mujica up in the pen. And Kelly's pitch count. The pitching change for John Farrell and the Red Sox after the walk of Davis. So 2 on, 2 outs. We'll step aside with the pitching change from Fenway. Game tied 2-2. Free furniture and mattresses. If the Sox win the championship this season, it's all free. It's the monster repeat, and it's going on now. Go Sox. Now Joe Kelly frustrated, unable to get through that inning, and walking the last batter that he faces in Chris Davis. He departs, responsible for the 2 men on with 2 outs. Looks still out on Kelly, responsible for the 2 men on, but so far 2 runs, 4 hits, 5 2/3. As Mujica now into his 5th game. 1-0 with a 4.15 earned run average. No walks, 4 Ks. Coming in here to deal with Manny Machado. Was 0 for 2 against Kelly. Kelly ended up with 118 pitches. Pierce at second and Davis at first. 2 down. And framed by Hannigan, but called a ball.
I thought Kelly had very good stuff again tonight. Not quite as sharp as in New York. And a lot of 3-2 counts that led to the high pitch count here in the 6th inning. But I thought he had very good stuff again.
Swing and a miss. Same spot. This time induces a swinging strike.
Back-to-back splitters for Mujica.
Mujica getting his first win of the year on Tuesday against Washington, going an inning and a third. Struck out 2. Tired all 4 batters he faced. Two balls and a strike to Machado. Caleb Joseph on deck. There are 2 outs here in the Orioles' 6th inning. Three and 1. Machado drills this foul into the seats. So full count now. Fractured the bat, so he gets a new one here with 2 outs and 2 on. Kelly responsible for the 2 men on. Brewers can get a start here with the full count and 2 outs. And Machado rolls it over foul. We'll do it again.
I think that every single pitch that Mojica has thrown to Machado have been split-fingered fastballs.
Last year making 64 appearances. In his first year with the Red Sox last season. Final 42 games had a 2.08 ERA. Swing and a miss. Able to strike out Machado. The Orioles strand a pair. Joe Kelly likes it. Game tied 2-2. Speed at half the cost. The HP Office Jet Pro X clocks in at 70 pages per minute. Get yours today for up to 50% off from who but WB Mason. Bottom of the 6th inning, game tied 2-2. As David Ortiz leads it off against Kevin Gausman back on the mound here for the Orioles. Been in the game since the 4th inning. Gave up the 2-run home run to Ryan Hannigan. The O's in the customary shift here against David Ortiz. 2-0. David has flied out to the center fielder, grounded out to first. And it'll be followed by Hanley Ramirez and Pablo Sandoval here in the inning. 3, 4, and 5 in the Red Sox order. T showing bunt. Ahead 3-0.
3 straight split-fingered fastballs to get to this 3-0 count from Gausman.
Action in the pen. The sidewinder Darren O'Day. There's a strike. 3-1. Ball 4 and a leadoff walk for Big Papi. That's the 4th walk given up by Orioles pitching in the game. The first allowed by Gausman. Well, tomorrow morning, catch an all-new dining playbook hosted by Cask and Flagon, the ultimate place to grab a bite before you go into the park. National reporter Sarah Davis makes her favorite party appetizer with Jenny. Plus, it wouldn't be opening week at Fenway without a Fenway Frank-Off. Billy and Jenny go head-to-head. See who wins tomorrow at 9 a.m. on Dining Playbook. Ortiz at first. Hanley Ramirez. 0 for 2 is grounded out twice. And he takes ball one a little bit low. Gausman throwing hard, 97 miles an hour. Chopped off the plate high, and Machado's got to wait for it to come down. He throws to second and gets Ortiz the force out. Up in the air forever, but still enough time for him to get Big Papi at second base.
That's good awareness by Machado at third base, knowing the runner at first, knowing that he does not have good speed, and even with the ball chopped that high in the air, still realizes he has a play at second base. And it's so important in a tie ball game to keep that potential run out of scoring position.
So 1 out. Hanley Ramirez now at first base, and here's Pablo Sandoval. Last time he was up, he was hit high on the shoulder, and ejected from this game was Ubaldo Jimenez. He's also walked in the game. And here's a one hopper that eats up Scope and goes into center field. Possible double play ball right there that turns out to be a ball that explodes on Scope and ends up in center field.
Yeah, that's one that's hit so hard that all you have time to do is go to the backhand and hope that that ball lands in your glove. This ball scorched by Sandoval, and you can see a little undecided on what to do, whether to try to front the ball or go to the backhand. With Scope, it was hit so hard. He tries the backhand, but the ball just bounces up and over the glove.
So the pitching change as Gausman will leave. The game tied 2-2 with 1 out. The pitching change from Fenway. They live and work. Thousands of kids have had the chance to catch a free Sox game thanks to Dunkin' Donuts. Tonight we welcome the Torrigan family YMCA to historic Fenway Park. Dunkin' Donuts, committed to the community. Well, 2-2 the score. Red Sox threatening in their half of the 6th inning. The pitcher here for the Orioles, Darren O'Day, the veteran reliever. 5th appearance of the year. 2.08 earned run average and 4 1/3. 4 strikeouts, no walks. Mike Napoli, the batter. And a swing and a miss. Always a different look from O'Day with a sidewinding right-hander.
Contrast in styles. You got Gausman coming over the top with the 98-mile-an-hour fastball. You got O'Day dipping down to the side with a submarine-style delivery.
Hanley Ramirez at second. Pablo Sandoval at first. Napoli will take a pitch down low, 1-1. Mike has grounded into 2 fielder choices in this game. Shane Victorino waiting on deck. Red Sox trailed 2-0, tied it up 2-2 on the Hannigan 2-run shot. They're trying to get something done here in the 6th inning. Napoli with a swing and a miss. A rising pitch, 1-2.
Both the fastball and the slider will rise when you throw from that delivery. The slider becomes like trying to hit a frisbee.
And he strikes out Napoli with the slider. There is the first strikeout for O'Day. A big one, 2 down.
Once again dropping down and throwing that slider that will rise just a little bit and go away from Napoli to get the strikeout. Starts at inside corner, finishes outside corner.
Mika Insurance, great service, great coverage, and a great price for auto, home, or life insurance. O'Day's going to get a visit from Caleb Joseph, his catcher, as we're going to get a pinch hitter, where Shane Victorino has been called back. Daniel Nava will pinch hit. Easier perhaps for a left-handed hitter here against the sidewinding O'Day. So Nava coming up. Ramirez at second, Sandoval at first. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Inside for ball 1. .309 in 52 games against the Orioles. Fly ball to right field. Travis Snyder is there, and he makes the catch. It ends the inning. Red Sox strand a pair in the 6th inning. We're headed for the 7th. Tied 2-2. In right field. It's on to the 7th inning we go. Game tied 2-2. Edward Mujica back on the mound. He got the final out of the 6th inning, and back out there to begin the 7th. Caleb Joseph, catcher for the Orioles, who takes ball 1. He has walked and homered his solo shot in the 5th inning, his first home run of the year. Fouled off, a ball and a strike. Well, don't miss Red Sox Game Day Live, presented by DCU Digital Federal Credit Union. Tomorrow at 3:30, TC and Tim Wakefield will have a visit from the 2015 NCAA hockey champions, the Providence Friars. DCU Digital Federal Credit Union, what can DCU save you? 1-1. Joe Kelly lasted 5 2/3, 4 hits, 2 runs, walked 2, struck out 3. Will not be part of the decision, and threw 118 pitches in tonight's contest. Close pitch. They called a ball. 2-2.
I mean, he wanted that real bad, a splitter to the outside part of the plate. A lot of times this has been a strike, but not this time.
Fly ball, center field. Mookie Betts into right center. Backpedaling to make the catch for the first out of the inning. Coors timeless moment takes us back 10 years ago yesterday. It has become known as Pizzagate. And to this day, I still don't know why anyone would waste a perfectly good piece of pizza to throw it at somebody, especially at what the pizza costs. I love the guy with the bevy. It's just miserable. I mean, he didn't get hit with the pizza, but I still feel for him to this day.
Can't believe this has had the life that it's had.
It's unbelievable.
Really.
It was so premeditated, you know, and we just couldn't believe it. I mean, it was stunning to me.
Yeah.
You know, that you would waste a pizza and throw it at somebody else. I'm going to take this pizza and I'm going to hit you with it. As he didn't go, I remember thinking to myself, where did it come from and why?
This is an excellent angle of it here, too.
Really
you can see the guy wind up. He starts to wind up right there.
Wow. On the ground and through into right field. A base hit for Everett Cabrera. Right in between Napoli and Pedroia on the right side of the infield.
That's now a 4-game hitting streak for Cabrera, filling in at shortstop for J.J. Hardy.
Now Jonathan Scope, second baseman for the Yos, 0-for-2. Grounded out to shortstop, grounded out to third. Throw over, and diving back to the bag is Cabrera. Nobody warming in the Red Sox pen. This is Mujica's inning, it appears. Both pens are quiet right now, as Darren O'Day had come in last inning, got 2 big outs. Another throw over, and again diving back is Cabrera. Juan is headed to the phone. Maybe somebody up here in a moment. High drive, but foul. Out ahead of it that time was Scope. And rides right out of Fenway Park. See, it pops up in the Red Sox pen. Shinichi Tozawa taking off the jacket and grabbing a glove. He'll be warming up here momentarily. One pitch, squib foul off the end of the bat. Throw to first, and that was a little closer as Cabrera was leaning.
Now they have all been pretty close, but this one the closest. And you're right, Don. He did have some weight going towards second base. The hand in just before the tag.
0-2 pitch is a fly ball to left field. Back goes Hanley Ramirez, backpedaling to the dirt of the track to make the catch. Cabrera back to first with now 2 outs in the inning. So 2 outs, Cabrera at first base, and Alejandro Diaz coming up. He is grounded out to third, struck out swinging, flied out to center field. Throw to first, kind of sidearm slinging it over to first.
If you're gonna go, this would be a good time to go. You got 2 outs, try to get in a scoring position. If you do get caught, you have the top of the order leading off the 8th inning. Cabrera does not have a steal yet on the season.
Over again, and back to the bag is Cabrera.
Certainly Mejica's expecting it.
Yep. There he goes. Diaz with a swing and a miss. Hannigan's throw is high. And a stolen base at second base for Cabrera.
And once that count ran to 1-0, it was pretty much automatic that he was going to take off and try to get in a scoring position with 2 outs. Through a split-fingered fastball, and that certainly helped also as Cabrera goes hard into that bag at second base.
Like a face plant, and he got his hand twisted underneath him when he landed. Face first into the dirt. First of this year for him, in a scoring position with 2 down. Rolled over foul by Diaz, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. The Orioles left 2 men on in the 6th inning. They've left 4 on through the first 6 innings and have a runner in scoring position in a 2-2 game tonight, game 1 of the series. On deck, the number 2 hitter, Steve Pearce, first baseman for the Orioles. On the ground softly to Pedroia, backed up on it. His throw is in time, inning over. 7th inning stretch, it is 2-2 from Fenway.
Bottom of the 7th inning. There's a hard takeout at second base by Pablo Sandoval. Then he gets plucked the next time up, and the pitcher Jimenez gets ejected from the ballgame. Caleb Joseph wrapping one around the foul pole. Ryan Hannigan getting a flat slider right there, and he takes it out of the ballpark. And we've got an exciting 2-2 ball game here tonight.
Bottom of the 7th inning, and Xander Bogaerts lead it off against the sidewinding Darren O'Day, who misses outside with ball 1. Bogaerts has reached on a fielder's choice in the 2nd, singled, and scored in the 5th. Strike call. So the 2 runs the Red Sox have charged to Kevin Gausman, the reliever now for the Orioles. Darren O'Day has retired both batters he's faced since coming in. Bogaerts to right field. Over moves Travis Snyder. 1 down here in the 7th inning. Now, Jerry, at the end of this inning, at the end of the 3rd out, we've had so many great defensive plays this year for the Red Sox, and we're going to show you many of those defensive plays at the end of this half inning to this point of the season.
We're never going to leave the ballpark, really. We're going to show you some highlights of some of the tremendous plays we've had all season long. So don't leave the TV at the end of the inning.
Don't go anywhere.
No.
You're going to watch these tremendous defensive plays so far for the Red Sox to this point. First 9 games of the year, and including tonight. This is fouled down the right field line, out of play.
I got a chance to see him earlier in our pre-production meeting, and they are outstanding. They have some great plays.
So far, so good. So we will have a commercial break, but stay here with us to see those plays.
Yeah, it's really not.
It is, but it isn't.
It is, but it isn't. That's the best way to put it.
Swing and a miss for Hannigan. Down 0-2.
I mean, it can be whatever you want it to be, really.
It could be a commercial, or it couldn't be.
All right, or it could be watch defensive plays.
It's no commercial.
It's going to be a 2-box.
We're providing you options. No-2 pitch to Hannigan. Popped up foul down the right field line, out of play. The last time Ryan Hannigan was up.
Back in the 5th inning, a couple of foul balls by Hannigan. That one there, a critical one, as that was a very tough pitch. And then he gets that slider inside and takes it deep for the home run. But if you got to get something, get it like between batters. Don't wait till the end of the half inning.
Right, because you don't want to miss it.
Right.
Defensive plays of the year. Mookie Betts, I am sure, is in the video.
Oh, guaranteed.
Yep.
We can give that one away. We've already seen it.
1-2 pitch is outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Dustin Pedroia will make an appearance in this video.
He's always in it. He's always in it. What would make that even better is if the Red Sox could get about 3 runs here in the 7th. That would make that spot even better at the end of the inning. It's good enough as it is.
Payoff pitch to Hannigan. And that is strike 3. And Newett takes with him the 2nd strikeout for O'Day. 2 down. We are 1 out away from seeing the best defensive plays of the year. 2 down as Mookie Betts now standing in. Betts has grounded out to second base, walked, and struck out. On the corner for a strike, and it's 0-1.
I bet we do it more than once a game pretty soon. I bet you it happens a couple of times a game.
Staying at the ballpark.
Yep.
Well, it's a little different tonight. When we were in Philadelphia, you saw what's going on at the ballpark in between innings. And tonight, a little tweak, a little variation to that. Dustin Pedroia waiting on deck, 2 down here in the 7th inning. Tried to hold up. No check. He did. 2-1. Oh, wait a minute. He did check, and it was a strike. So 1-2. And he did go. Ball, 2 strikes, 2 down here in the bottom of the 7th inning. This one fouled back to the screen. Still 2-2. Good battle here. Darren O'Day and Mookie Betts with 2 outs in the 7th inning. 7th pitch of the at-bat coming up. And Betts will let that go by. It's wide. 3-2. Adam Jones, the center fielder, into right center. Well off the line, and left is Diaz. Betts pulls this. He's got tons of room in left. On the ground to shortstop. Everett Cabrera's throw is in time to end the inning. So through 7 innings, this game is tied 2-2, and as promised, let's check out some defense.
This is a different kind of airline. One that invented low fares so everyone could fly. One that decides where to go next by putting your needs first. And knows people are its most powerful fuel. Some say we do things differently. We say, why would we do things any other way? Without a heart, it's just a machine.
Little League, minors, the majors too. Always going to Subway. And these days, I go with the sweet onion chicken teriyaki. All white meat with pepper jack cheese, banana peppers, and lots of jalapenos. Because you know, I can handle the heat.
I got this. I got this. Ooh, I got this. I don't got this.
Sometimes we need help, and that's why it's great to be an Amica insurance customer. Whether you're calling Amica for a quote or because something happened to your car or your home, it's a whole new level of customer service. And when you're as helpful as Amica is, it doesn't go unnoticed. So call Amica today for auto, home, or life insurance and expect great service every time.
I got this.
Monday, on an all-new episode of Nesson Next Producer, student filmmakers compete for $20,000 and a job at Nesson.
Okay, go ahead.
These 3 filmmakers from Boston University combine skills to craft a one-of-a-kind film on sportsmanship.
I don't really see how a story can get much better than the one we're telling.
Plus, what Boston Globe film critic Ty Burr said about this Boston College director's film that has her shaking her head.
It's something that I'm proud of.
Nesson Next Producer, Monday at 3 on Nesson.
Back at Fenway Park, how about that defense, Jerry?
That's terrific. It really was. A lot of great defensive plays. Plus, you had Subway on the left. You had defensive plays on the right. You had everything you would want. You know, a sub and great plays.
2-2 as we head to the top half of the 8th inning.
Whew.
Shinichi Tozawa is a new pitcher. His 5th appearance of the year. Has not given up a run in 3 2/3 innings. 5 strikeouts, a walk, and opponent sitting at 167. Steve Pearce leading it off. Pearce, Snyder, and Jones. 2, 3, and 4 for the O's. And it's strike 1 on the curveball, that time from Tozawa. So Mahika goes an inning into 3rd of relief. Gave up 1 hit, had a strikeout. And a swing and a miss for strike 2. Pierce is 0 for 3 in the game, having flied out to center, grounded out to 3rd, reached on an error committed by Dustin Pedroia at second base in the 6th inning. Two runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Orioles. 2 runs, 3 hits, 1 error for the Red Sox. Travis Snyder waiting on deck. On the ground softly towards Sandoval, charges and throws in time. That's a play he makes very well, charging in from 3rd base for the first out of the 8th. Let's take a look at the Toyota play of the game with the Red Sox trailing 2-0. Ryan Hannigan with his first home run in a Red Sox uniform, a 2-run shot. One out here in the 8th as Travis Snyder checks in. Had a single back in the 4th inning and came around to score the Orioles' first run. Scored on a double play. Grounded into by Chris Davis, who produced the first Orioles run. Second run for the O's, Caleb Joseph wrapped a fly ball down the right field line around the pesky pole, and the Orioles had a 2-0 lead. Four scoreless appearances so far for Tozawa on the year. And date back to last year, he's now made 9 scoreless appearances over 8 1/3. In those appearances, opponents hitting at .077 against him. 2 for 26. Last worked on Tuesday against the Nationals, getting the final 2 outs of the 8th inning. Ground ball foul outside of first. Action for the Orioles up in the pen as Brian Mattis warming up. We have already seen Gosman and O'Day in relief of Ubaldo Jimenez, who was ejected from this game after hitting Pablo Sandoval, immediately ejected by Jordan Baker back in the 4th inning. Ball and 2 strikes to Travis Snyder. To the backstop, and Hannigan couldn't get a glove on it. 2-2. Fastball at 95 miles an hour, uncorked by Tozawa. Swing and a miss, gets away from Hannigan briefly, so he clears the runner and throws him out at first base. First strikeout for Tozawa, 2 down.
A lot of curveballs in this game for Tozawa. Usually see that split-fingered fastball, but tonight it's been basically curveballs. And here he bounces one, but picks up the strikeout. So changes his look to the Baltimore Orioles.
Adam Jones batting with the bases empty, 2 down here in the Orioles' 8th inning. And a single back in the 4th inning, otherwise he is struck out and fly to right. Rising fastball at 94, and Jones went after it.
The Red Sox tonight have intentionally thrown a couple of pitches up high to Jones to see if he'll chase one. He finally does. Up about shoulder high.
Foul tip in. It's 1-2.
Man, good velocity. 94 on that fastball away from Jones. So far, nothing down the middle of the plate.
Zawa's been able to get Steve Pearce, Travis Snyder dealing with Jones now. The inning continues. Chris Davis waiting on deck. Swing and a miss, gets away from Hannigan. He'll have to throw him out, and he does. Back-to-back strikeouts for Tozawa. Coming up for the Sox, it's Pedroia, Ortiz, and Ramirez. Book your low fare on Southwest.com. Series sponsorship presented by Chevrolet, your New England Mitsubishi dealers, the all-new Kia Sorento, Sullivan Tire and Auto Service. Thank you, New England, for 60 great years. Audi, experience the all-new Audi A3 today. And by DraftKings. Last verses of Sweet Caroline. It means it's time for the bottom of the 8th. Ryan Mattis into the game for the Orioles. His 4th appearance without giving up a run this year. 3 innings, no runs. Pedroia leads it off and takes ball 1. Koji Uehara warming in the pen. In this tie game right now here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Tazawa does his job in the top of the 8th. A 1-2-3 inning dealing with 2, 3, and 4 in the Orioles order. Got a ground out, back-to-back strikeouts. Three and 0. Mattis staying away from Pedroia. Darren O'Day, incidentally, who just left, ends up going an inning and 2/3, retired all 5 Red Sox that he faced, 2 by way of the K. Pedroia taking, and he takes a 4-pitch walk down to first base to begin things here in the bottom of the 8th. Big Papi striding to the plate. David flied out to center in the 1st, grounded out to first base in the 4th, walked in the 6th inning. They are shifting, but they keep it tight to the infield. The double play implications here. High and tight for ball 1.
One point in his career, Mattis was a starter. You see the numbers against Mattis, only 3 for 24 for David Ortiz, and 2 of those 3 hits doubles.
Ortiz, and a good hack at that, fouls it back, 1-1.
They're really pinching him in the outfield, aren't they? There's plenty of room down the right field line and plenty of room down the left field line. They got him bunched up.
Hanley Ramirez on deck, nobody out here in the 8th. So far, Mattis has thrown 7 pitches and only 1 for a strike. Ortiz with a swing and a miss on a pitch down low. 2-2.
Ortiz expecting a fastball ahead in the count, but didn't get it. Got a slider instead.
Ortiz pops it up, foul ground. The catcher Joseph has got the best chance, and he cannot make the catch. Into the crowd he goes. And Wallace, the pitching coach, there to help out with the shift on. Machado from third base did not have the same opportunity or a better opportunity than Joseph did.
Yeah, he's the only guy that really had a chance at it. And he looks like he got part of the glove on it, but then tumbles over the railing into the stands.
So another chance here for Ortiz. Ortiz hits a fly ball to shallow right. Out goes Cabrera. In comes Snyder. And it's the right fielder Snyder who puts it away and retires Ortiz. So 1 down here in the 8th inning, and it brings up Hanley Ramirez. Looking for his first hit of the night. He is grounded out to second, grounded out to third, and Last time up grounded into a fielder's choice. Pedroia at first base with one out in the Boston 8th inning. This one gets off the catcher Joseph, and Pedroia will scamper into scoring position. Couldn't find it right away. Pedroia takes off for second and gets there without a problem.
And good recognition by Pedroia on that one. Unfortunately, the ball bouncing toward the first base line so he could see it. The catcher didn't know exactly where it was, but Pedroia did. When he sees it go up the first base line, he's easily in the second base, standing up. Now they're going to put Hanley Ramirez on.
A wild pitch charge there to the pitcher Mattis, and Ramirez will be given first base. Pablo Sandoval will be next. So down to first base goes Ramirez. Let's take a look at the Planet Fitness judgment-free zone play. And back in the 4th inning, Pablo Sandoval hit high on the shoulder and ejected from this game. Ubaldo Jimenez immediately by home plate umpire Jordan Baker. He's not giving up a hit through 3 2/3 chase from this game. The bullpen has been in ever since for the Orioles. Gausman, O'Day, and now Mattis. 2 on, 1 out. Here's Sandoval. There's strike 1. On base 3 times tonight. A walk, hit by a pitch, and we showed you in a single. As Tommy Hunter now up for the O's. Oh, 2. Sandoval on the ground left side. Machado to second for 1, on to first for 2. Double play. Erases 2 walks in the inning as Mattis works around it, and we remain tied 2-2 to the 9th. mentioned, Jimenez leaving this game ejected after 3 2/3 hitting Sandoval, gave up no hits and no runs. Caleb Joseph supplying a home run for the Orioles. They put them on top 2-0. Red Sox answer with a Hannigan 2-run home run, his first in a Red Sox uniform. Joe Kelly tonight, 5 2/3, ends up with a no decision as he throws 118 pitches in 6 innings. So we are tied up 2-2 to the 9th inning. And the new pitcher on for the Red Sox, their closer, coming in here in a tie game at home, is Koji Uehara. Last year, 64 appearances, 6-5. He was 26 out of 31 in save opportunities. As Davis waves at strike one. The last time out was a save against the Nationals, going an inning and striking out 2, a 14-pitch inning. Chris Davis tonight has doubled, bounced into a double play, and walked. Red Sox shifting against him on the right side. Only Sandoval on the left side. Fly ball, right field. Daniel Nava for the first out of the 9th. One out, and Manny Machado coming up. He is grounded out to the mound, lined out to short, and struck out. Action in the Orioles pen. Zach Britton, the left-hander, is up.
That last fastball, Uehara in the 2 games we've seen has probably thrown maybe 2 or 3 fastballs. That's it. Most have been splits. Back to the split there. First fastball was 88, then the split down in the zone. Down and out of the zone.
Caleb Joseph on deck for the O's with 1 out in the 9th. Swing and a miss. First strikeout for Uehara. 2 down in the 9th.
And right back to the split-fingered fastball for Uehara. Starting out about knee-high, ending up about ankle-high.
7 in a row retired by Red Sox pitching. The combination of Mujica, Tazawa, and Uehara. With 2 outs in the 9th, here's Caleb Joseph, who takes strike 1. It's been on twice. A walk in the 2nd, the home run to right field in the 5th. Oh, 2. Uehara, an all-star last year for the first time in his career. And a strikeout of Joseph. To the bottom of the 9th. Napoli, Nava, and Bogarts. Furniture goes to bat for the Jimmy Fund again this year. Bob will donate $1,000 to the Jimmy Fund for every game saved this season. Everybody saves at Bob's. Bob's Discount Furniture, quality, choice, and value. Learn more at mybobs.com. High fives all the way around for Koji Uehara. Has a 1-2-3 ninth inning. Now Mike Napoli leads it off in the bottom of the ninth and takes ball one. Brad Mattis back on the mound again. Napoli 0 for 3, struck out his last time up in the 6th inning. Mattis worked the 8th, starts the 9th. And falls behind 2-0. Did walk 2 in the 8th, leadoff walk to Pedroia. Then intentional walk of Hanley Ramirez. Dave Wallace and Buck Showalter talking it over. Britton has sat down. Hunter back up for the O's. Red Sox pen busy as well. Alexei Agondo. .3-0 pitch to Napoli. Takes ball 4. The second straight inning the Red Sox have had the lead runner on via the walk. It is the 3rd time in the game, and first 2 they could not score after getting the lead off walk. 3rd walk charge to Mattis. Nava coming up.
Now Daniel Nava moving around to the right side of the plate right now, and you wonder if he's going to bunt from the right side. Remember, since spring training, he's been a left-handed hitter.
Yeah, he had abandoned hitting from the right side. And on the grass at 3rd, Machado anticipating that bunt. And there it is, down the first base line. A look at second with a throw to first. Sacrifice is complete as Napoli takes second base.
Yeah. Would you say they gave that one away?
I think so.
Well executed though by Nava as he pushes it down the first base line. That's where you like to go, because the first baseman has to hold that runner on, so he can't get the same break as the third baseman.
Now Buck Showalter to the mound, going to make the change. So with 1 out in the potential winning run in scoring position, Tommy Hunter coming in as we step aside. The pitching change from Fenway. Ninth inning as the Red Sox have Mike Napoli at second base. And the change here for the Orioles, as out of the game is Brian Mattis, into the game is Tommy Hunter. 5th appearance, 0-1, 14.73 earned run average. Opponents hitting at 375 against Hunter. Spent time on the DL last year, the left groin strain. And of course, had a save against the Red Sox opening day of last year. And his first pitch is in there for a strike to Xander Bogaerts. Hard throwing Tommy Hunter, formerly of the Texas Rangers, has settled into the bullpen with the Orioles, one time a starter. Bogaerts hits a blip to right field. Out goes Scope. It'll fall. Napoli's coming around. The throw to the plate. Red Sox walk off with a win. 3-2, they beat the Orioles tonight, and it's Xander Bogaerts who drives in the game-winning run.
Give a big credit to Mike Napoli on that, too. He read exactly where that ball was going to drop, and he was off at second base.
Tonight's T-Mobile game-changing play. Xander Bogaerts drives in the winning run.
Just a little bloop out into right center field, but Napoli at second base read where that was going to drop. Watch Napoli. He's off on contact with one out. He knows that ball's going to drop in, and he has no problem scoring. Any hesitation, he would not have been able to score on that. Great base running. Good ball game tonight. Very good game.
A tight one tonight from Fenway that ends in walk-off style as we send it to field level and Gary Streisky.
Now, perfect. Xander, sometimes all you need is a little bit of a bloop to get the job done, and you said right when it came off the bat, that was the game winner.
I mean, definitely, once I hit that ball, I knew right away it had a chance to fall, but good read right there by Napoli to score on that ball.
Does that just speak to how well you guys are running right there? Something as simple as that gets the job done, especially for you. Your second walk-off, and you knew it.
Yeah, I mean, we're running pretty good right now. We're playing a good game, playing some good field games, so just keep advantage.
Oh, man, I saw that one coming. Did they get you? Yeah. Did they get you? Oh, Hanley got us a little bit. Obviously, a celebratory thing, so I think we're going to be okay with that. What does it speak to you guys, though? You guys are going to see these Orioles 19 times this season. They won the division last year, so to get the first one out of the way, obviously important.
Exactly. Winning on a walk-off, just keep the momentum going for the team, and it's a great team win overall.
Hanley's still going after it. After they ripped your jersey off, I think I'm going to have to hit the showers after this one too, but that's a good celebration. You said you got the little scratch, but it feels good.
Yeah, definitely. Once you get that win, and just to contribute to a win is awesome.
Fantastic. Xander, much appreciated, man. Thanks.
So the Red Sox win it 3-2 in fantastic fashion tonight from Fenway as we send it to Tom Caron.